All right. It's cloudy. It's always cloudy. It's raining. It is always raining. The ruined keep sits on a small hill, overlooking the ocean waves as they crash against the sharp rocks below. And the sun begins to filter through the clouds, lighting them up from above with a golden red glow. As the morning light begins to chase away the night, a huge wall of black shadow looms over the harbour, draping a ship in its darkness. A trireme that glimmers red against blackened wood. In the greying light, you can make out the sharp shapes of horses crammed on the upper deck of the ship. They are also highlighted by glowing red. Riders are hunched over on the horses like insects, slim-limbed, blackened skeletons. There was some discussion by the party as the riders left. All talk in the Hall of Echoes, a spell cast by Adalbert that lets everyone talk telepathically. However, now there is a god. Standing on the wall above Raina, looking down at her, a god with a writhing head of snakes and cloudy yellow eyes, no pupil or iris, just a wall of yellow glaring down at Raina. The god is wearing a mottled brown hunting garb of simple woven cloth, and everyone is on their hands and knees struggling to get up, about to face the consequences of what happened just a few moments before, when Raina imitated this god and said, "You are not welcome here. Be gone, or face my wrath." And that is where we'll start the session. So if you'd like to unmute yourselves.
Yeah, I've got a question right off the bat.
Go for it.
Thrathim made his saving throw. Is he still down on one knee, or did he manage to stay standing?
Everyone who made the saving throw is down on one knee. Those who failed are on the flat on their face.
Okay. Oh well, better than nothing.
I can't remember, so I'll be flat on my face.
Flat on my face.
Actually made my saving throw.
Yeah, I think it was Horacio and Zamor from memory. Okay. So the Huntress is standing over you, Raina, Samita. I should point out to those who've just joined us, Raina goes under the name Samita, so I will switch to using that name from now on. So a bit more description of the Huntress. It could be important later. She's wearing a mottled brown cloak, hood and tunic and breeches. She has a silver-coated, spotty, pointed runic underhelm. So it's like a pointy bit beneath her face that covers her mouth and covers her nose. The runes are patterns. You can't tell what. On her back, she has a quiver. There are a series of silver hands clasped close together, holding arrows. She has a longsword, which is a thick encrusted vine scabbard with a blade of glass. And there is a longbow wrapped in a grey mass of ancient rushes on her back as well. None of which she has in her hands. She's just looking down at you, Raina. Any immediate response from anyone?
Same one might try to get up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone trying to get up?
Yeah.
No,
I'm trying to
Raina will
stand
not.
up.
I'm staying down.
So, the way that you described it is that she was forced to the ground. She would just try to get a little more comfortable so that she's not really, really awkwardly on the ground, but she's just kind of sprawled before she just takes a deep breath and that's it.
Okay. Those trying to get up, please do roll a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
12.
Oh dear. 7.
Um,
Good start.
I haven't got my catch yet.
Okay, so Zamar, you were on your hands and knees, and you sort of straighten your back and push against this pressure that's coming from you don't know what. And the 7 means that you kind of slump down, although you're not in a worse position than you were. You just weren't unable to change, so you're still on your hands and knees.
I look up, lock eyes on her, and sort of, even though I know she's not looking directly at me, and sort of grimace slightly.
Okay. Alithia... Sorry?
13. Sorry.
13. Alithia, you do manage to make some headway, so you get up from the ground and push a knee beneath you. And as you do so, the Huntress's eyes switch to you, and she flicks an arm out, and you suddenly find your pressure gone, and you stand up normally, and then there's a wham, and some invisible force slams against you and pushes you 20 feet away from everyone else.
What have I done?
May I speak when this is happening?
Yep.
Okay. Reina will turn her head, trying to see what's happening, and she will say, "Please, do not punish them for my insolence."
The Huntress turns to you, Reina, again, and everyone who is within a short range of the Huntress begins to notice a change coming over the area. Your hair is beginning to grow quickly. Your nails are beginning to grow quickly. And on the ground, you suddenly see all of the insects are dead. And the grass is growing quickly and aging. And there are small plants sprouting quickly and growing taller, some saplings. And those who are within about 20 feet of the Huntress are beginning to get a strong aching pain throughout your body. And the Huntress turns to you, Reina, and says, "Do you serve me? If not, then die."
Excuse me, from 20 feet away.
All right, so Alithia says that. What does Samita say?
Okay. She will pause for a moment, and she's still flat on the ground. She's not trying to get up, so she's just kind of trying to look sideways so that at least her eyes are visible. And she'll say, "I am sworn to you. I will take whatever punishment is mine. But I pray that it allows me to continue to serve." And then I will, as much as I can, lower my eyes. So like I was trying to look up, and then I just lower them and fully submit to whatever is going to happen.
She leans down towards you slightly, and the same hand that threw you, Alithia, moves out languidly and holds up a finger, like, "Don't interrupt me."
Yeah.
And
Go. Oh.
she says to you, Samita, "Then you must learn to survive without me. I have no use for weakness. For this foolishness, you must pay a price." And her face leans closer, and all the snakes on her head extend quickly towards you. Do you react?
No. But I keep my eyes open.
they plunge into your mouth. And you can feel their mouths doing something to your tongue. And you suddenly feel that your mouth is filling with blood. And there's a moment of agony which soon passes. And just this thrashing of snake mouths inside your mouth. And then it's over. And they withdraw slowly, hissing. And she raises up. And you just have a mouth of blood.
Reyna is completely tense. Like every muscle in her body is tense. And there are probably tears streaking down her face just from the effort of having to try to breathe through all of that. But she remains entirely motionless. She is, until she gets the permission to get up, she is not moving.
Roll a Constitution saving throw.
That's natural 18. I have +0, so it's an 18.
Okay. With the strong will and determination to show nothing, you hold still despite the pain that you experienced, which has gone now. And because you haven't tried to do anything with this mouth of blood, the blood is just pouring from the edges and seeping down your neck. You can feel there's something different, though. Your tongue is different.
Is the Hall of Echoes still up?
Yes, it is.
I'm going to fit into the Hall of Echoes. Good breeze! Good breeze, anyone! Good breeze!
The drama and all the rest of it. So if Reth is 13, does he manage to stand up at all? He's not within 20 feet of them, by the way.
Sorry, so you're 13. You are beginning to rise up. And as you do so, this was during the activity of the snakes, but you can only get to a certain hunched position. So you're now standing with your legs bent and your back cowled, but you are standing. And you're sort of, I guess, looking at her in kind of determination as you push against this pressure.
Yeah, hard stare.
Okay.
How much of this is easily visible from across the road?
So it's not nighttime anymore. There's a soft grey light coming from the sun that's behind the clouds. It's not easy, but you saw quite clearly what happened to Samita, and you can see Horathia sort of trying to stand up. I think you're next to each other, in fact.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Umika should just reply, I wouldn't interfere unless you'd want the same. At which point, can I call out to the huntress and try to stand?
What are you saying?
So it's kind of the mental kind of call out, just saying, Huntress, if I may.
The languid hand that was holding a finger up moves without her even looking at you. She's still looking at Samita. And the finger is held in your direction.
As in a weight.
Yeah.
I would guess that.
And her head whips round so quickly that the snakes all swing and sway for a brief moment and then come to a rest again. And she's looking directly at you, Zamar.
I raise an eyebrow, and we meet again.
For your part in this, you are marked. I have hunted your trail and found it cold. Know that you now have my attention. And then she turns to you, Horathia. And she starts moving down from the wall. It's a weird, because she sort of steps as if there are steps. She slowly walks down from the wall to the ground and then heads over to you.
Alright, I'll walk towards her if I can.
Okay. Roll athletics with disadvantage.
I've already got disadvantage, so
You can't have more than one.
You can't penalise me. Well, 2 crappy rolls, but I've got a pretty decent adjustment, so... what is it now? 15.
15, that's pretty impressive, considering.
Oh, yeah.
So with each step that you want to try and make, it takes extreme effort, but you manage to kind of use the extreme gravity that you're experiencing to kind of slide and push each foot forward. So you do take 2 steps towards her as she walks casually over to you, and her hand shoots out and grabs you around the chin. So 2 fingers and the thumb against your chin. And it's a bit like suddenly they're attached to you. The grip is so solid that it's like it's part of your face, and she just kind of pushes you back down. And there is no roll you could make to stop that. And it's like compressing like a tin can or something, but very slowly. Normally you have to like push it really quickly, but she's like pushing you down until you're kneeling again.
All right, I'll grunt a bit because I'm obviously trying to work against it uselessly, and I'll keep looking straight at her eyes.
Okay. Roll insight.
6.
All right. You've just got a face of snakes and yellow eyes. It's quite distracting. It's hard to tell purpose or expression from that.
Yeah, to be honest, he wasn't trying to read her or anything. He was just being defiant as much as he could.
Yeah, I know.
I have a small question. Can you please not use the word face full of snakes and eyes again?
I'm just telling it like it is. That's all. Anyway, so she's pushing you down, and she pushes her face towards you, and all the snakes sort of create this ring around your face. So you've got them sort of hovering around your face, and she says, "Will you serve me? I doubt it. You only respect strength. But you are not strong. You want to lead, but you do not know when to fight and when to hide. There is strength in survival, and you cannot defeat death with a sword. But you only know how to run towards your death. Adapt or die, I don't care. But don't get in my way."
Do I get a chance to say anything or not?
You can say something there.
Nah, I ain't gonna serve you. I got no need.
She doesn't look pleased or displeased with that answer. She looks over towards, kind of in your direction, Alithia, but roll insight, Alithia.
Okay. Ooh, natural 20 plus 3, 23.
You just happen to be in the direction she's looking. Her gaze is locked onto something else far away. You can't see what. She's not looking at you, but she does say, "They come, the gathered tribes. He won't risk his special riders, but he will test me. That is all." Everyone roll perception with disadvantage.
Yay.
Am I able to perceive anything with what I am experiencing?
Yes. Yeah, the
Okay.
pain is gone.
Okay.
You are no longer feeling pain. You just had a mouth of blood.
Okay, that was a 16, the first roll.
14.
18, the first roll for me.
Okay,
14 with disadvantage.
Yeah, I know.
Damn.
16 with disadvantage.
12 with
3.
disadvantage.
3.
Yes, I am. My head is down.
Yeah, I had a 4. It's probably the
Okay,
same.
3 and the 4. So I would say, Samita, you're kind of distracted. if not in pain.
I will say Samita's panicking. Like, she's just low-key panicking over whatever's in her mouth.
Okay. Adalbert, you... Are you wearing your mask?
I would have been if we're going to combat.
Yeah, so you're wearing your mask. I'm going to say that because the eye holes in the mask are difficult to see everything, sometimes you do miss things. And you just happen to be pointing the mask in the wrong direction to really catch this. All those who... so Alithia, Horathia, and actually, Alithia 12... you will notice is that she kind of fades. But Horathia and Zamar, you do notice that as she fades away, there's a kind of light dust that it's almost like a light dust falls off her as she disappears.
Can I say as she fades away, I like your plants.
Roll persuasion.
Oh my God, I'm so bad at this. It wasn't meant to persuade or anything. It was just like a genuine observation. Yep, nope, that's a 3. No, 4.
4.
My dice know me, man. Like, they know I'm shit at persuasion.
There's just a slight puzzled frown as she disappears. Like, she was a bit confused. At the end of that exchange, the ground is now covered in decayed brown dead leaves, blades of grass, and so on. There are now saplings that are 3 times higher than you, grown up all around the area where she was, as well as ferns and bushes and other things. But the most sort of impressive remainder are these trees that have grown. You do, however... How old are you, Adalbert?
Old. 76.
Oh, you're a baby.
Okay, you are now 79.
Are we all aged?
How old are you, Horathia?
I was more than 20 feet away.
She came up to you.
Nice. 45.
Okay, you're now 46. You were quite close, Seymour, I think. Yeah, you started close. So you also aged 3 years, and so do you, Samita.
Me?
Alithia doesn't age at all.
She's probably the oldest out of them, to be fair, then.
All right, I'm probably feeling even worse then. I mean, not only have I been knackered for I don't know how many sessions, I've now aged a year in like a few minutes. But as fast as he can hobble, he wants to get to a vantage point so we can see what's happening down in the harbour.
Okay, so you're going over to the wall to clamber up and have a look.
Yeah.
Okay, as you do so, you realise that any aches, pains, anything you were suffering from is now gone. You are on full health.
Is that the equivalent of a full rest?
No.
Well, I was suffering from exhaustion. Am I suffering from exhaustion anymore?
No.
Ah, well, that's okay. I can cope with that. Excellent. And like, so I'll spring and bound nimbly over to the wall.
Really?
Probably not.
No. Okay. All right, so Horathia is making his way quickly to the wall. Adalbert, you are also fully healed. I have no idea whether you took any damage, by the way. I'm just saying this because you would be otherwise. And so are you, Zamar and Samita, apart from what happened in your mouth.
So, what do I find as she has now disappeared and I prod and poke? What is it that she's done?
You now have a forked tongue of a snake.
Okay. Can I still speak normally?
No. With a forked tongue, you cannot enunciate as you would normally. All of your speech is now broken and hard to understand, especially as you have to get used to using that tongue.
Okay.
Can I go up to Samitha and see, like, if there's any, like, because there was a lot of blood, obviously. If there's any damage inside, I don't know what's happened in terms of health and so on.
So Samita is currently standing on the wall, are you?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
was on the wall.
Yeah, we were both, but
no, you were thrown off. So Alithia
was
comes
thrown
up
off.
to you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you were knocked 20 feet away.
Okay.
A bit more than 20 feet. So you come up to the wall and you're looking up at Samita, but you'd have to ask to inspect.
I'll say, come down. Let me look at your mouth.
bloodshot eyes and tear-stained. She looks down once and turns away, and just walks down, like, up the wall a bit, to get away from everything that's happening.
Well, that's rude. Yeah, I'm not gonna, like, trying to heal someone who doesn't want to get healed. Not my credo. I'm going to then walk over to the saplings. Because this is interesting. Like, plants out of nowhere.
All right. So, Samita, did you say you're going to move away as well?
Yeah, if she can just, like, walk 10, 20 feet further away up the wall,
okay.
where to close to where she destroyed the skeleton.
Are you staying on the wall?
Yeah.
All right. So you're heading north. Harathia, you get to the wall and start clambering up. Zema, what are you doing?
Zamar gets up slowly, and you see him sort of like licking, and then he looks down at the ground and just goes, and then stamps it into the ground with his boot, and then walks up. Well, what next?
All right. So Harathia, sorry, go ahead, Matt.
Let's see. At that point, can Adabert arrive?
Yes.
Going to follow Harathia and say, "What's next, Zamar? I believe we've just started a holy war."
Well, at least we know exactly what that is. Two sides fighting against each other for no reason whatsoever.
What? Do I hear this?
Yeah, they're not hiding the conversation.
What do you mean a holy war?
Well, when our friend here invoked the Huntress's name, she brought the Huntress into a battle the Huntress was not yet ready to partake in. Therefore, our enemy believes the Huntress to be engaging in warfare with us, and thus has started a holy war. Would be my summation of events.
There's another god on the ship?
Oh, I'm sure there's.
What is the ship doing? Oh, I must be on the wall by now.
Yeah, I was going to bring that over after Matt had spoken.
Sure.
So that the horses having been loaded on, the ship had a ramp that jammed itself into the jetty, and the riders have been pulling it up to get it out of the wood. And now that the ramp is up, the ship is sailing it out. So for those of you who are new to this episode, there is a trireme, which is a two-masted rowing warship. But this one is made of blackened timber and has holes in it, and appears to be moving in a ghostly fashion. With oars that don't quite reach the water. So that is now heading out. There's a strange silence in the harbour where there's this massive black wall overhanging, but the ship is leaving. You can see there are soldiers of the Golden Leaf with their shields all lined up quite a long way away from the jetty, lined up between houses, creating a barricade. But you can't make out much more than that.
Is that big wall still there? Then is that not moving away with the ship?
The ship is actually heading into the wall, so the wall is not moving. The ship is.
Right. Matt, was Adalbert's comment directed into the Hall of Echoes?
No, out loud.
Could Rathe hear? Is he close enough?
I was talking to you.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Well, you were talking to me.
Mm.
Oh.
Responding in general, but aiming at Rathe.
I don't know shit about holy wars, but I'd say this is a result. They're fucking off.
You heard the Huntress. He did not want to risk the riders. They're sending in the infantrymen.
Well,
this isn't over yet.
Fine. Yeah, so does that mean she's involved now? Because she could have done a bit more. She could have maybe wiped them out. She's that strong.
All right. In that pause, we'll go over to Alithia. So you're examining these saplings. They appear to be the normal trees that you'd expect here. So roll your strongest skill, nature.
I don't think nature's actually too strong for me. Hold on.
No, I was being sarcastic. Sorry.
Okay. It's okay. It's not terrible. Hold on. Okay. That's not terrible. 14?
14. So you're pretty sure that these saplings would have grown naturally from seeds if the road wasn't busy. So this is the sort of regrowth that you'd expect, given time and no trampling of feet.
Okay. Do I see anything magical?
Apart from these grew up and should have taken 3 years to do so? No. You're muted, I think.
Sorry, my head playing up. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Perfect. Did I hear and did I feel anything magical coming off them at all?
They're just trees, as far as you can tell.
Trees.
I'm not even going to get you to do an Arcana roll. They're just trees.
Okay, that's fine. I don't have time. Okay. I'm gonna pet the trees, as you do. Tell them you're quite lovely, and then we'll take care of you. And then I'll walk off towards like where everyone else is.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk over to Adalbert. So, if there's a infantry, as you say, coming, should we get the rest, or are they just about likely to arrive as the last lot? In other words, do we have minutes or hours? Adalbert?
I do not know. I will ask the Astravi what they see on the horizon. The enemy is they've withdrawn the cavalry, they're strong fighters, which to me suggests fear, which is good. But what do you combat what you're afraid of losing your best men with?
You send in all the fucking tons of cannon fodder.
Exactly. Exactly.
Can we marshal forces? If those are ordinary forces, then maybe they are under normal power. It would take time to marshal such forces. Perhaps we have time to raise our defenses yet.
2 things. One is, couldn't they be the Forgotten Tribe? In which case, even if they're ordinary, they're horrible. And number 2, I thought the Huntress doesn't like corruption. This is all corruption. I don't understand why she'd be upset.
She...
3 things. Sorry, carry on.
No. Third thing?
Samita's been really quiet. Is she okay?
Roll insight.
$13.
Okay. Samita, roll something.
Well, that's I think a 14 on deception.
Okay.
Why are you deceiving me all the time?
Samita is doing her best to hide her face, and any expression or feeling is not clear, but she is quiet, yes.
Your points in turn, Alithia. 1. I forgot what number 1 was.
One Forgotten Tribe, like they're really horrible.
1, I imagine you're correct. The Forgotten Tribe will be the infantry cannon fodder. At least we know weapons hurt them. 2, you are correct. The Huntress does not. You are correct. My job, what Serene is doing, is all against corruption, but we work in the shadows. As I told you for the Primordials, there has been a threat to them, and the Huntress has asked us to work in their interests. However, a show of force becomes a threat to her and to others. So until this point, I imagine she has been working in the sidelines, supporting the effort where she can, without getting herself involved and therefore endangering her and others. Now, however, she has no choice. As for Samita, point number 3, I imagine it's her pride that is hurt more than others. Anything else?
I don't get it. Just because she sounded like the Huntress, don't mean she's got to appear and get all bitchy. Sorry, not that. I didn't say that. Get all shirty about it.
She's just been dragged into a fight
Look,
she was not yet ready for.
she didn't have to come. Just because someone sounds like her, who gives a shit?
I think it might be that, like, what the appearances are seeming to be. So whoever that is, apparently it's a god, I don't know, but they now think the Huntress is against them. And so if they think that, they'll act against the Huntress, and therefore she has to act back? That doesn't make sense. I know, but it was her voice. But it was her voice.
They all ran away, and all she did was punish her freaking follower.
Yeah, I know, but it was her voice, so it feels like I think they might think she's here, and she's going to do stuff.
Why didn't she kick their asses?
I don't know. I'm not a god.
Clear.
None of us are. And then turn to Samita.
So harsh, man.
Zoma walks over with a frown. Look, if there's infantry and then this, he's Beziel or whoever is sending his infantry forces, there is 2 options I can see. 1, we muster a fight and we summon forces from around. But the other is we leave. If they encounter no resistance at Trillin or anyone here, what will they face? Nothing. What will they seem to imagine that the Huntress can put up as a force? Nothing. It may cause a de-escalation in the fight.
But they'll take over the keep?
Who knows where we'll take back at some other time in the future.
Perhaps, but they'll corrupt it first.
Of course.
And my plants are there. Also, I've been trying to work on this thing to, like, stop you guys getting hurt all the time. And that'll go.
You've been in my position. I know when to leave. We'll start again. We'll go somewhere.
We can defend Truman against just the Forgotten Tribe. I know there might be a lot of them. All we've got to do is avoid their fucking spears and fight them in the alleys, in between the trees.
Sorry, it sounded too Churchill.
Not deliberately, not really.
We'll fight them in the palm trees.
Look, we got refugees with a flipping axe to grind against the Forgotten Tribe. We'll give them swords or whatever. At least the Forgotten Tribe can bleed and die. And we can do that.
Let's see how many are coming.
And if they are Forgotten Tribe.
I do not intend to give my life for saving this village. We should tell people that they can leave, and we should tell them what's coming, and then we should make plans ourselves.
Is Bessie look good?
Who knows?
I don't know what he is.
Okay, I don't think we should send refugees who've been through a lot, and, you know, had to uproot. I don't think we should send them to their deaths.
Who said anything about sending them to their death? I said they could fight if they wanna.
If they're fighting the Forgotten Tribes, they're our cannon fodder.
Look,
Don't you agree, Samantha?
I ain't gonna force anyone to fight. If they don't like them and they want to fight, why should I stop them?
I will think into the Hall of Echoes, and I will say, I think this is reactionary. Giving up Chillin also means giving up easy access to Rogaton. And I think that's where our focus should be. She never turns around when she thinks that's it, you guys.
While this is happening, can I essentially message a few Astravi and just say, cavalry leaving, we're expecting infantrymen, keep posts and feedback to me.
Sorry, could you say that again?
Yeah. While this conversation is going on around kind of using peasant cannon fodder, can I just message the Astravi and say the cavalry are leaving, we're expecting infantry reinforcements. We need posts around, please keep me updated.
Alright, cool.
Alright then, Samantha, what should we do? We should go to Rogaton? Is that what you're suggesting? I'm not sure I want to go there.
You know what? That ain't such a bad idea. I got a hankering to visit Rogaton. All we're doing is putting out fires here. If we can go to Rogaton and stop the fucking mist right there, then we're actually taking the offensive for once, which is what we should be doing. Adalbert, what have you got? Any chance we can actually do something like that against the actual mist, against the corruption? Because if it ain't, we're going to lose this fight.
On the scale of an entire town, I have not heard of, but it does not mean it cannot be done. If
Well,
there
we
is a
need-
source,
Well, there's a
then-
source in a big crack in the ground. Now, we better learn how to do it fast. Well, like I said, we're all going to be like them. And I'll gesture towards the harbour. Those 40 mounted troops, we've seen them before. Zaymar and me. And they didn't look like that. We know from that Forgotten Tribe person we talked to in your box, they don't want to be corrupted. Not like that. At least that wasn't what they expected. If we get corrupted, we fall into line. We become servants. And you know what the reward for that is? Smouldering bones. Undeath. That's what waits. If we can't fight them, we're all going to be like that.
I don't have very much to give right now. We've not had a rest in so long, DM.
Look, I ain't saying we go now. I'm just saying we go. But we have to have some chance against it. And that ain't my area of expertise.
Well, we can take what we need for now. We can travel on the road and we can camp several miles away along the road to Rogaton. There is, I would suggest that we send at least somebody to the village to send out the warning bell to tell people to flee into the mountains surrounding or wherever.
And we should get rid of the skeletons, the skelly bones. There's two of them still hanging around, isn't there?
Yes.
Someone should probably get rid of those.
Yeah, I'm your man. I'll do that. Right.
Very quick.
No.
question.
If
We've
we're
got to send them-
going, how can you do that?
It won't take long. There's only 2 fucking skeletons. How many people do you think they need?
Do we not need to go now? We don't know how long these people are going to be around for.
Look, we got instructions to leave behind before we sod off. So, Adalbert, can you get word to the Australia, whoever's in charge of the Golden Leaf lot? They want to form up into 3s and 4s. Make sure they've cover on at least 2 sides, and see other units the same. So if any of these fucking Forgotten Tribe with their fucking javelins turn up, they ain't got clear line of sight with no one else attacking them. All right, we got to use the cover that the village provides to defend it. And I'll have a word. Make sure that anyone who wants to leave leaves, and anyone who wants to fight fights.
If we go to Robertson, though, do we actually have anything we can do? I don't have anti-misty stuff. Not from the ground.
Well, that's what Adalbert's here for.
Do you have that
Do
stuff?
you have anything you can try?
Give me a day and I'll look over research. I'll look over what I have. Next question, how far is Rogerton from Trillin?
50 miles.
50 miles. Okay.
So a day and a night?
Mm.
Okay.
Depends how you travel, but yeah.
That's at a decent pace as well. That's not.
Yeah.
I don't want to go without a plan. Because then we're giving up Trillin, putting ourselves in danger with low chances of success.
You said shit about giving up Trillin. I ain't giving it up. That's what I said. We leave instruction to defend it. But if we don't go now, who knows how long it's going to take them to get here?
I need time to prepare a remedy.
All right.
For...
You take your time, fine. But you tell your Astravi that we want Astravi in the air, scouting a long distance away to give us as much warning as possible.
I already have a Astravi in the air around the town. I will ask them to go further.
I have a solution. Presumably, we do not need to ride. We can fly to Rogerton, or at least some distance from it. If we have a Stravi, they can surely spare 3 or 4.
But we don't have anything to do for the mist.
What I'm saying...
That's what Adalbert's going to do. He's going to read some books and shit.
While he's flying?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Look, we have a... Well, Zamar's is a good idea, all right? So we take the chance, we give our instructions to whoever's still awake in the night to defend if we get attacked. We have a good night's kip. Adalbert looks at his books, and when we got something, we go quickly.
Okay.
The Astravi, if Rogerton is as corrupted as you say it is, the Astravi will not risk getting too close. They will take us most of the way, potentially, but not all the way.
Fine.
Samita, you're like a tactics person as well. Do you think this works?
silence at first, and then she will think again at all of you. I believe that you should rest first, regardless.
Sounds like she agrees with me. Fine, let's do it.
In the meantime, Adalbert, if you can begin your preparations now, Parathia and I will address the town, and we will make plans in the meantime. And then, once you have got a solution, then maybe we summon the Astravi and travel to Rodden. But in the meantime, the amount of time that it takes you to research is the amount of time we have to prepare the town. So we best be at it.
Question
Billy?
for the DM. Oh, go.
I could use your eyes reading as well.
One moment.
Question for the
DM. Yes, question to the DM. Can I try and like scout and see what is happening? Like, is there people coming off? Because I know like those riders all went off, and then there is a ship that is right up against the wall of the harbor. But is there any activity? Are there people like marching off, or is it just all kind of in stasis there?
I didn't want to interrupt the conversation, but while you were all talking, the black wall that loomed over the harbour, absorbed this ship and then moved off. And by the time you've asked this question, the black wall has gone. And in fact, time has passed by so much that the dawn has broken and it is now daytime. It is now 6:30 in the morning. Also, while you were talking, the Golden Leaf soldiers, having seen the ship leave, have now left their positions and are now walking around in the harbour area. There's no townsfolk around yet. They're still staying inside. But the Golden Leaf are... It looks like they're going through who died and sorting out bodies, basically.
So the ship is gone?
The ship is gone. The black wall has gone.
Okay.
And Baha has also arrived. So for those who've joined us, Baha is Adalbert's bodyguard. He is an older elf.
Daddy.
There may or may not be something going on between them. Baha walks up to you, Adalbert, and sort of looks around, slightly confused, and then just pats you on the shoulder and says, "Everything okay?"
We're at war.
I heard. Did it start here?
He kind of just eyes flick towards Samita and goes, "We know the war started long ago. It is now at our shores."
Yes. And I've been told 40,000 on the way.
Was that to me or loud enough for everyone?
That's loud enough for everyone.
How do you know 40,000 are on their way?
The tribes of Glatland have mobilised.
Are they forgotten tribes?
They're all forgotten tribe now.
They weren't. They are.
They are now.
A lot of tribes, Glatland. But if corruption corrupts, they can make them corrupt, can't they?
I guess, yeah.
How long, Baha?
3 weeks.
All right, got some serious work to do.
40,000. We can barely fight off 1,000. Yeah.
I I don't know. Do you think you could make something that, like, maybe the Astravi could just, like, sprinkle it overhead to stop it rather than in a box?
Who are you addressing that to?
Bertie.
Okay, good. Because I was looking at you with a slightly dazed expression.
Becomes the magic fairy dust expression.
Exactly.
I think, to be fair, Ada was giving her a magic fairy dust expression as well.
I don't know how this works.
The box works because it contains, it transfers. The only thing you could sprinkle on top to stop them would probably be Zamar's making.
Poison?
No, I don't want to kill loads of people. There's 40,000 people.
40,000 corrupted people who are going to
But there's
kill
still
everyone they meet.
people.
They're going to kill everyone in the whole trillion. So we're going to kill them instead. That's how it
Unless
works.
we can stop the spread beforehand.
But if they're already corrupted, that's it. That's done. Unless, like, we put them all to sleep and then put them in a box one by one.
40,000.
Or we know that corruption is essentially a parasite. Yes, it communicates, it controls a symbiotic relationship. Kill of the Queen. Stop the host.
What? Kill Aldrinor.
We sure that Aldrinor is the host or the queen or whatever you want to call it from a bug's perspective? Are we really sure that he is the ultimate problem here?
No, we're not.
We can't even...
However, it's that and potentially not face 40,000 or definitely face 40,000.
Sorry, you said...
We don't even know where Aldrinor is.
No, we have 3 weeks.
You said it was a parasite.
How many Golden Leaf troops can get here in 3 weeks?
You dressing Baja?
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
We don't have 40,000.
I didn't ask that. I said how many?
If you wanted all of them.
Well, just humour me, let's say.
10 at the most.
And how many have we got here now?
Around 1,000.
So it seems like we get 1,000 working to dig traps, tunnels, stuff to kill them, mince them as they come. We channel them down specific areas that are booby-trapped to kill them all. We get as many people, as many refugees armed, and we stand here and kill them all.
Samita, you don't want to talk to me, but could your Empress not help with this? She'd have troops. They might be better than the villagers and the refugees.
Pause again, and then Samita will think at all of you. Perhaps it is worth the attempt.
I also would like... Do you think you could set up a huge ritual? Like, could we trap them somewhere? And then you could, like, cleanse them all together?
An
Yes.
awfully large box.
Or,
Yeah.
like, not even a box over the top. Like, if we put them in, like, a pen. You know, like sheep. Sorry.
Adelbear, you said parasite. Is that like the thing that they fished out of my eye?
I used parasite as it is the best way I can describe it. Corruption affects sentience. It seeps in. It takes over, it controls. Whether it is... I do not think it has a physical form. It is mist, as we have seen.
Well, it would seem to me that if we can find a surefire way to rid corruption of one creature that was rapid, then it might be enough to give them pause. The only thing that they would fear is the ability to lose their forces or somehow have this turned around. I do not think our answers are here.
If I may,
Wherever.
she will think again.
Oh, my heart goes out.
Why are you so certain that they are coming for this small, insignificant town?
Why they
With the
come in
whole
the
army.
first place if it's so insignificant?
Just because they came with a small force doesn't mean that they intend to invade. They might have just had a goal to achieve nearby, such as find something in Rogaton.
Well, they were
Yes.
searching the town pretty closely. If all they wanted was Robertson, they could have ridden right out the town. We wouldn't have even tried to stop them.
Perhaps,
What do you think they were looking for?
but,
That is the question. We do not know.
but
Perhaps we can
regardless,
find out.
regardless of these questions, the smaller force does not dictate that the larger one will come here.
No, sweet, it does not. However, now they believe the Huntress is either based here or protecting here for some reason. Ergo, there's something valuable to take.
It's been 2 weeks, so I'll just remind you that there's two things worth bearing in mind. The first is that the riders, when they landed on the jetty, rode off in a radial pattern out of Trillon immediately.
Yep.
The second is you haven't yet thought or mentioned the princess.
Yeah, we thought that they were possibly searching for her. We should probably go and find out whether she's still around or not.
Alibert turns to Baha. Is the princess still in Ilithia's treehouse?
Yeah, she's asleep.
Well, if she didn't miss anything.
Do you think she might be able to shed some light on this? We
Maybe.
should go wake her up. Let's go wake her up. She shouldn't sleep.
She's only just got to sleep.
Yeah, wake her up.
Let us all sleep.
We ain't waking her up. We all need to sleep.
Are we going to wait till tomorrow to get the bugs out?
It is tomorrow. Do you mean the following
We're
day?
going to wait after sleep to get the bugs out.
We will all need rest, Alithia. Maybe now is the time that we should rest.
So you seen bugs out Mads?
Hmm?
What
Yeah,
you
bugs
said?
out.
Oh,
She got jumped on by a shadow.
quick question for the DM. Do we feel like everything that was wrong with us, if we had like a dodgy knee or whatever, is all sorted? But do we all sort of know that? At least as Thrath here.
Everything that you have recently taken in terms of damage has been fixed.
Right, but what if he had when he is 40 something? I mean,
Old
what if
injuries
he
have
had
not.
like a crick in the neck that he's had for a few months or something.
Unfortunately, no. No.
Okay, fine.
Everyone roll intelligence. Just straight intelligence check.
God. Ooh, that wasn't so bad.
Oh my goodness! I rolled well. Can I just not say I didn't?
Yeah. Yes, of course.
Okay, fine. Don't ignore me then.
All right.
20.
7.
Dean?
15.
24.
Wow. All right. So as soon as Alithia mentions the bugs, Adalbert, your brain makes a couple of connections, and you immediately realise that if Alithia had been in the close proximity of the Huntress for too long, then whatever's in her head would have rapidly changed,
Well.
Oh, God.
and the eggs would have grown. And while punishing Samita is something that the Huntress wanted to do, instantly killing your character was not.
Oh my God! Thank you so much! Jesus Christ!
Well, like, I thank the fact that, yeah, she probably didn't want to piss off the primordials or whatever that you
That would be another factor. And a millisecond after Adalbert realised that, so did Zamar. Samita, what did you get?
7, so no idea.
Yeah. Arathia, I don't know what happened with you.
No, I wasn't even interested in thinking about it.
Okay, cool.
Show me.
Huntress, it seems, is looking out for you, Ellie.
She is?
By pushing you away, she has stopped the eggs in your brain growing like the trees you adore.
Oh my God, I told you! I told you they were gonna burst out of my head! Why can't we do this now, please? Is there any way?
Because she protected you.
But what if it happens?
We'll have to do it tomorrow. But we will... I just need some rest first. We'll try tomorrow, okay?
You're
Zema,
just
we would do
going
it
to
today.
poison me!
Zema, we would do it today.
Okay, we'll do it today.
Okay. I give you my word, Ellie.
The sun's rising. Yeah, I did not...
I'm
mean to,
gonna...
further
If
try.
I... Yeah. If I'm close to Adalbert, I'll give him a hug.
Right. Adalbert, before we have a kip, you need to get word to the Golden Leaf lot, or... Wait a minute, they'll turn to
Baha.
thank you very much.
Sure.
You need a kip as well. But
Yep.
we need the Golden Leaf forces to be having a think about what we can do to defend this place. We need to send word, they'll look at Samita, to the Empress to see if she can send any help. If we don't know how many men we got, we don't know what we can do. All right?
Agreed. We need to defend Rogerton.
I ain't strictly a military man, all right? So get those military people thinking about it, whilst we have a sleep so we got something to discuss in the morning.
Well, we've got 3 weeks, so we'll
Yeah,
think of something.
The sooner we get started on it, the better.
Yeah. Totally agree.
Right.
And he nods at Samita.
Anita, I'm a bit of a healer sometimes. There was a lot of blood there. Can I try helping you?
As all eyes go to Samita, she's stumbling on the wall and muttering to herself. And those of you with Arcana knowledge see that she's trying to cast a spell but fails. So yeah, that fails, Samita.
Right. I suggest all you lot go get some sleep, and I'll stomp off towards the town.
Meanwhile, Alicia just asked Samita a question.
Yeah. She will just think into the Hall of Echoes without turning back, but like her hand is definitely shaking as it comes down. You know, she's doing like somatic components as well. She will think, Alithia, might you stay with me a moment? while everyone goes?
Yes, of course. I
Does
can't
they
think
not
of
hear
her
that?
alone.
What did you say?
Does Zamar hear that?
This is in the Hall of Echoes. All of you heard it.
Oh, sorry. Okay. In that case,
Daymar, I
I'll
think
just
it's
turn around.
lady things. It's okay. You should go.
Zamar just walks around, tired looking, and hops off of the wall and goes back towards the keep where he goes to sleep, basically.
Okay, following Horathia. All right.
No, don't go to sleep. You need to poison me.
Tomorrow.
Today. Adalbert will walk up to Ellie and Smita, kind of listening to what Ellie said and noticing what Smita was doing. He's just gonna go, I don't think any amount of magical healing will make a difference to whatever's happened if it is the will of the god. And he'll give that sort of pitied, smiled nod and just kind of turn and walk to his house.
Okay. Samita turns around as she hears the footsteps walking away, and she gives a death glare to Adalbert's back. Like there is like she literally looks like she could stab him in the back at a moment's notice right now. Her eyes are bloodshot, like dark under the eyes, tears dried up on the cheeks, and she is just staring after him until he disappears.
Alithia is the only one there. Bahar has joined you, Adalbert, and is walking off down towards the town. Alithia, so roll insight.
That's not bad. 16.
The expression from Samita was fairly reminiscent, actually, of the princess in full fury.
Huh. Yeah, that was insensitive. I'm sorry. Yeah. Please don't kill him. He's gonna heal me. Also, he's my friend.
She just turns to you after like another 5 heartbeats or so. And her expression just turns completely blank. She opens her mouth slightly. She showcases the condition that's been inflicted on her.
Oh my. I've not treated one of these before.
Quick question. Can I still talk into the Hall of Echoes while Adalbert is walking away?
I literally opened it to check.
It's a mile from me.
Yes, it
Okay.
is, yeah. So, currently, yeah.
Okay. Her question becomes as vague as possible, so as not to alert the ones who are not here as to what's happening. But she will ask, can you fix this?
I can try. I'm not, as Bertie said, I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. I've heard, I'll try. If I can't, then no, that's not gonna work. We have surgeons here. Maybe they can give you a tongue transplant? I'm speaking aloud, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Because the muscles, we can't take them from somewhere else. So I think that, well, the only other thing is that I've read in books, I don't know if this exists, but sometimes if you really please the gods, sometimes they can give you stuff that can make, like, you know, your wildest dreams come true. Like, you can make a wish, and then maybe that might help. But you might have to do something to get back in the good books of the Huntress, or another god if you follow them. I can try. I'm really sorry, Samita. I wish I could say I can fix this.
Just try. She just thinks.
Okay, so, well, shite. I don't have much.
Gonna set you on fire, probably.
Yeah,
I have moonbeam.
No, it's not gonna work.
Secret flame.
Right on the tongue.
Like catching a snowflake on your tongue. Ooh.
Okay, so I'm gonna like prep myself up, and I'm gonna cast guidance on myself first off. And be like, I think I need all the help that I can get. Then can I like MacGyver something out of like the leaves and plants and salves that I have in my kit to like, form something like a tongue sort of shape? It's not going to work, but I have to try.
Roll medicine first.
With a D4?
Is it a once off? I forget. You may not want to use it for this.
That's how guidance works, isn't it? You add the D4, don't you?
Yeah, but you may not want to use it on this particular check, is what I'm saying.
Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, damn. Fuck.
Yeah, it's a once thing, so...
Nope. That's a 3 plus 3 makes 6.
Sure, yeah, you can MacGyver. What were you trying to do? You make a tongue out of leaves
shape.
Or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll work.
Out of leaves and paste and stuff. I'm so sorry. That would like go around the tongue. This is not going to work. I'm so sorry.
There's a deep intensity and focus from Alethea as she gathers bits off the ground and starts.
No. I've got my salving kit. I've got my kits.
But with that roll, it's sort of you're grouping things together, just trying to put anything that you think will help.
Okay.
And it's not looking good, and even as soon as you sort of reach it up towards her mouth, Alethea, you're not completely
convinced
that this is going to work. So you sort of hold it there, and then you realise it's not going to work at that moment.
I'll just do what I can. And I guess I'll cast, I only have a 2nd level slot. So I'm going to cast 2nd level Cure Wounds on it. But then I didn't use my D4.
Well, you could have used your D4 on the 4 roll, but
I know,
it wouldn't have made any
helped.
difference.
It wouldn't have helped. Right, so that's 2d8 plus 3. This isn't going to help. I'm so sorry. I feel really shit. This is terrible. Actually really good. That's like a 5 and a 6. Not that it helps. Oh, so 5 and a 6 plus 3.
Would you like to describe how you try and heal the tongue?
I mean, if I had extra stuff.
Just with the spell.
I suppose I'm going to kind of visualize the shapes and the muscles and the layers of the tongue, and just get her mouth wide open and try and get a good amount of light wherever I can, an open area, and I'm going to just have this kind of these autumn colors kind of flow off my fingers, and it forms the shape of a tongue around the forked tongue. And I'm going to be praying please, Duran, please, make this work.
Roll nature.
That was a 9.
From what you can tell, the tongue is natural. It looks like a snake's tongue. There's no real injury. The healing does nothing. Samita has a snake's tongue in her mouth.
I don't think I can heal this. I think she seems. Can I, like, from my medicine check, would I have noticed that, like, she's relatively healed and, like, there's no kind of, you know.
Unfortunately, you've been so focused on trying to do something about it,
help.
you didn't
Fine.
really
Okay.
see much.
I don't think I can heal this because it's not injured. Does that make sense? And I think if we did injure it, all I would do is bring it back to the state it's currently in. You can maybe learn to speak with this. Your speech might be different, but you can maybe learn, and then maybe you can, like, show the huntress that you're really sorry and do something really good for her. Do you serve the huntress?
She just stares at Alithia, listening to her talk, maybe filling uncomfortable silence. And she just takes Alithia's hand for a moment, essentially in a gesture of thanks, squeezing it, and then begins walking away towards her accommodations in the keep.
Oh, so sad.
All right. Alithia is watching Samita walk away mournfully. So, Alithia, for your long rest, are you going to your treehouse?
I am, actually. I am, because my treehouse has two separate parts to it. It's got the guest area and then my area. So I'm going to, like, and then the guest bedroom is, like, above, like, the general, kind of entryway. And then there's, like, my personal parlor and my food area. And so I'm going to, like, scramble off to, like, the side and go to my treehouse.
Okay. The treehouse is well guarded with troops of the Golden Leaf who, as you approach, they melt out of the shadows and give you a nod, and then sort of pass by you and start looking from behind you to make sure that nobody's followed. And as you make your way up into the treehouse, you see some shadows pass over as Astravi sort of descend and then fly off again, checking you. Especially when you get to the door. There are a couple of Astravi who fly down close by and look at you very, very carefully.
I'm going to purposely be really noisy.
All right. Meanwhile, Horatia, you went to the keep, right?
No, I went to the town.
Okay, so Horatia went into town, but Zamar went to the keep. Samita, you went to the keep. However, I seem to remember a while back, your accommodation wasn't exactly decided.
Yeah, it wasn't fully, but she will write a note and show it to the nearest guard, along with her papers for Samita, and say that, you know, the note will say, I'm supposed to be put up here, show me to a room. Essentially very, trying to be very imperious about it.
Okay, so I won't go through the roleplay of it all, but the first Ruin Keep guard that you show it to gives you a bit of a shrug and just nods for you to go into the Ruin Keep. And you make your way into the main keep area where Zabraf is behind the bar and is just doesn't look up and is just cleaning a glass. You speak to other guards and they give you a shrug. And you soon get the idea that you don't have access to anything here. And with Zamar already gone and Horatia in town, you're kind of on your own, which feels like an additional misery on top of everything else that's happened. And you don't have anywhere to stay at the moment. You're just kind of standing in the middle of the keep.
Could I just make the point?
Yeah.
We still got the Hall of Echoes going.
You do, yeah.
Yeah, but she's miserable, so she will sit at a table in a corner and rest her head on that table and let herself drift off, miserably alone. If they don't interrupt her and tell her, like, you can't do that here, she will just sit there, and essentially she's more thinking and just falls asleep than that she's deliberately trying to sleep there, but she just doesn't have the energy or the wherewithal to come up with the next step at this point.
All
So
right.
a general table in the general area.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Oh no! We need to give her a room, guys.
Wakes up without any money or shoes.
I know.
Or liver.
So as you put your head down, the table is one of those old sort of pub tables that is cleaned regularly, but is also dirty regularly, and has the beer and the wine and goodness knows what else seeped into the wood. And as soon as you put your head down on this wood, you just get this strong stench of all those things. And as you're kind of wondering what on earth you did to deserve this, your passive perception, you notice somebody stealthily moving towards you. What do you do?
I will put my hand into my bag at my side without moving otherwise, but I'll put it into the bag as if I'm looking for something and grasp onto the hilt of the dagger that I keep there.
Okay.
And wait to see if he comes close enough.
They sort of cough and and keep moving and just walk off.
So in that case, she doesn't actually allow herself to fall asleep, so she will take the exhaustion if need be, sitting there bathing in her own misery.
She's not going to tell anyone.
She's out of it.
Because I'd sort it if you tell me.
That's the way it is.
All right, everyone gets a long rest apart from Smita.
Oh, thank you.
Actually, no. Oh yeah, because you're of the exhaustion. Yeah, you need the sleep. That's the problem. Yeah. So you take 1 point of exhaustion.
Oh, this is the pits, man. Kevin's not going to come back.
Used to like my character.
This is ultimate roleplay, though. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not very often you get, circumstances like that. It's
I'm
good.
just pleased I've had a good night's sleep.
All right, so elves.
Can I do a sort of meta thing?
What's that?
I want to give Kevin a message from the gods.
Yeah, go on. Circumstances are
Just add to his misery.
appropriate.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you do know which god this is, though, don't you?
The message is just from the huntress. Na 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 na.
Oh my god. Ugh.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah.
Samita also gets a long rest.
Like, as in, I doze off? Or
No, you
Okay.
as you stay awake and on the edge of your seat and kind of worried about all the glances in your direction. Even Zabraf looks over towards you at one point. You feel almost a refreshing breeze pass over you, and you do regain any of the things that you are missing. So you're not exhausted anymore.
Does she hear anything? Like, have faith, my child, or something like that.
No.
These damn primordials.
If it's still early, I don't know what time.
Yeah, I was about to say before the message of the gods thing. So the elves obviously have the 4 hours, and then you can be up and about if you want, and then everyone else the 8 hours. So That'll take us to around 11. So it's 7. So 3 p.m.
During that time, I'm going to hunt around for a needle which is hollow.
Okay. That's easy to find in a jungle.
No. I've got the. Are you being sarcastic there?
Okay. You're not hunting for anything?
No. I am. I was hunting for a needle that's hollow because we've got the army base, the army hospital.
You're going to have to run this, like, fully past me. I'm confused.
Oh no, what's happening?
You're in a treehouse currently.
Yeah. Once I've woken up.
Okay. You wake up.
Sorry, there's something going wrong with my light. Once I've woken up, because there's a couple of hours before everyone else wakes up.
Yeah.
So I would want to get a needle. Yeah, there we go. A needle that is hollow from the army area.
Okay, so you're going to travel to the fort.
Yeah.
You're going to go into the hospital there.
Yeah,
and
my hospital.
Yeah. And then get a hollow needle.
Yes.
Sure. Okay.
Several hollow needles that I don't trust anymore.
And Adalbert, same after your 4 hours.
Yes.
And vials.
And vials, okay.
Yeah. Vials that, like, you can kind of push through, like... I'm basically looking for syringes. Give me a syringe, please.
You're going to fabricate a syringe out of vials and needles and a bit of cork.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Matt, you're sending me a message, are you?
Yes, so the first thing I want to do when I wake up is what I'm sending you in the message. And then after that, I'm just going to start crack open the books, the big wedge of history books that
From Seymour.
had shipped over. Yep.
Okay.
Especially
Alright.
focusing on the Third and Fourth Age when corruption kind of came about. Looking for anything victories against it, essentially. That have been recorded that might give us any ideas.
Okay. Roll investigation.
Investigation is plus 5. 22.
22. So, what exactly are you hoping to find? Because that's a pretty good roll.
So part of it is looking for mentions of a god, because what Zema said yesterday is very true. If we know the boy Aldrinor to be at least one of the heads, but is he the head of the snakes? So looking for continuous mentions of generals or gods, essentially, that could be leading it, as well as looking for any, I mean, if it's historical, anything that seems to suggest that there's been a mass cure.
Of corruption.
Yes.
So, corruption is very clearly, especially from this research, a recent phenomenon. Certainly nothing in previous ages. It's only happened in this age. And as far as anything connected with Aldrinor is concerned, the history books that you have are very Lauf-centric, Glatland. There's almost nothing about Durasis in those books. And it seems as though Aldrinor, or anything you'd sort of connect with Aldrinor, hasn't had an impact over here that's then become recorded in history. Okay.
If it gets to the time, Zamor will get up and do his normal routine and wander into the bar, pick up some breakfast, and then go and sit out on his table, even though it's the afternoon.
Okay, as you go to get your breakfast, you hear the sounds of the koto playing in the keep area, and a haggard-looking Samita, although having had the long rest effectively, there's still a lot of quite a lot of impact from what happened on your face, is playing the koto.
I walk in. We're up early. Would you care for some breakfast?
She'll stop playing for a moment and then nod at him. Still not speaking.
He will say more, so a whole bunch of snakes fly into your mouth. He does not expect you to be speaking at all. Yeah, so he'll just like gesture the usual, breath please, and yes, just make sure the eggs are cooked this time for our friend. And then I'll gesture through, and then walk through to the. I'll gesture at Samita, and then walk through to the table, and then sit down and take my usual seat.
I'll follow.
Okay. So you pick up your gear, your koto,
Yeah.
and walk through. The guards are sort of watching you fairly suspiciously.
I probably make a point while walking, one hand, of course, holding the koto or carrying it with me, and then the other hand very pointedly in the bag, clearly holding on to something, as I glare at them in passing.
Roll intimidation.
Okay. That is not very intimidating. Hold on. That is a... 11.
11.
Yeah.
All right.
If I may clarify, just for context, she's more trying to be intimidating in the sense of leave me alone than that she's trying to be their boss or anything. Just
I know.
Just saying.
As you do so, there's a slender woman standing on guard where the where Zamar's gone, which is leading out the back of the keep onto the side of the cliff overlooking the ocean. And she's kind of leaning against the wall with a heavy crossbow casually in hand. And as you walk past and put your hand down and glare in her direction, she pushes herself off the wall and steps forward, just not right in your face, but enough that she's kind of in your personal space. And she glares back, and she rolled a 17 on intimidation. Okay. So you can take that how you want.
Oh, not having a good time.
She continues on. She was very, very distinctly not looking for a confrontation, but rather hoping probably to avoid it. But there's just overall bitterness at everything around her at the moment that's kind of seeping out. So she continues on to the table.
Okay.
And that's it.
So, have you lost your tongue, literally? What is it? I produce a piece of paper and a quill. Tell me.
She was literally, as you're doing that, she's grabbing her own notebook and flipping to a clear page, and she looks at him, and I will say there's just the slightest bemusement that very briefly touches her face, just like, of course, like that sense, and then she puts it on the table. She will just write one word: forked. Full stop.
I came across somebody once who had their tongue split. It was with a knife, not very pretty. They actually tried to stitch it back together. With time, they were able to learn to speak again, but it is very difficult. Can you move the pods independently, I wonder?
I attempt. Can I, DM, move the parts of the tongue independently?
Roll a wisdom check.
Wisdom. That is an 18 total.
Your tongue is connected to you as if you were a snake. So you're not used to controlling it, but you do have natural control. And with practice, you'll be able to control it very easily. Its natural position is the forks are together. Mm-hmm. So it's a bit like rolling your tongue or other sort of slightly unnatural manipulation,
right.
But you could definitely do it, yeah.
Samita will nod to Zema.
Just trying to roll my tongue and speak. Like, that's really hard.
With, well, I would not be so downcast. With some learning, you could maybe use that. You could learn to maybe form words, things like that, perhaps. You just need to concentrate a bit harder. You just might need to use those great skills of impersonation. But if ever you change your mind, I have a needle and thread. I'm about to use my needles on Alethea this morning, so we'll find out if my skills are any good. Who knows?
She will write down, I am considering. And just leaves it there and goes plucking idly at the strings until the food is brought. Strings on her kota.
So Zamor will finish his food fairly rapidly, and then he'll produce from one of his pockets, his many pockets and things around there. He'll take out he's got some black thread, obviously. Zamor has everything. And he will measure off about that much and then tear it off and then place it on the thing and then remove one of his other needles and then look at it and then actually no, not that one, because this one comes in a pack and there's they're all stuck in a cork basically, and then it's he rummages around 1 second a moment and then he puts it out, and then this one is stuck into another pack where there's another pack of dark thread running around it, and there's like a stack of needles, this time with a loop on the end. And then he places it delicately down on the paper in front of you, says and then produces reaches round and then this time produces a small steel mirror and puts that down on the table. If you care to use it in your own time. I am somewhat busy today, but perhaps one of the others around here can help you make the incision, etc. But personally, I would try wrapping around the entire thing. Perhaps it might help you to learn control. Anyway, I bid you good day for the moment. I am off to go and remove bugs from a small elf. And then he just stands up, takes the remainder of his food, and then wanders off back through the keep game, looking off towards the treehouse.
Before you go, she'll draw your attention, probably with a wave or something, and writes a last line. The first word is thanks, and the rest is please send for me if you go to Rogerton.
Zama will nod and then turn around and leave.
And she pockets everything and then just spends her time playing the koto in that little corner of the ruined keep.
Oh, this is so sad.
It's a good view there.
In my little corner.
On my way out, did I see the guards? Did I see that the one with the crossbow move and check? Did I see that? Yeah. On my way out, I sort of lean over and I just go, leave her be. And then I wander out, go past Zabrath, and as I go out past Zabrath, I'll just put a couple of coppers on the thing and say, deliver her some food or whatever, or some drink, whatever she needs it. She's had a night. And then I turn and leave and walk off towards where I think Alithia is.
All right. Well,
You have
as
no clue.
Zamar heads away from the bar, Zabrath watches you leave with a slight puzzled expression, and then glances over towards the exit to where Samita is playing her koto. And as the breeze comes in from the sea, and the salt from below reminds you of perhaps more peaceful coastal locations, we will end the session.
Oh my god, I still have bugs in my head. Okay, sorry. Oh,
Love everybody. That was good.
yeah. Oh, Kevin.
It didn't happen to me. It happened
Sorry.
to Reina.
I know, but it happened to your character. Your character's like been hobbled. Like roleplay is so hard when you can't speak.
That is brilliant. It's such a brilliant. Well done, Simon. That's
Yeah, well done.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's awesome. But I don't think it impacts roleplay. It's just you do different things now, right? So.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
The thing is like, can you work with the disability effectively?
Oh.
There's plenty of room there, like say, and I think that was what Zamar was doing. He was kind of like, I've been through this.
Yeah, in a way you have,
Yeah.
for very different reasons.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow. It was really cool though, actually. Like it made so
Yeah.
much sense in terms of storytelling.
Yeah. it's
But
cool. And if there is a punishment, you have to have a, like I say, if you
yeah,
do
yeah,
things up,
exactly.
you have to have a punishment. It's brilliant. Yeah, it's really good.
Right. So, are we done, Captain?
Yeah, go for it. I actually
Okay.
remembered what you're going to do now. So.
Woo! Yeah. Okay, wait. My phone's load. Okay, I am drawing winners as we speak. So we had 244 entries.
Oh wow! Cool.
Yes. So our winner is Oh, hold on.
Don't draw. Are you
Drawing.
opening? What are you doing? Are you opening?
Yeah. I'm like drawing the winner as we speak. So the winner is Jeff Altman from the USA.
Nice.
Altman.
Well done,
Okay.
Jeff.
Yeah.
Well done, Jeff Altman.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So we will be in touch through your email address, and you can get some beautiful dice like these ones, and these ones, and then you'll have like a little treat from the Ruined Keep alongside that. So well done. Woo!
Well done.
Congratulations.
And thanks to La Chasse again for setting up this this episode.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as usual, we have some time for some questions, which I have prepared. But feel free to ask questions in chat, and I'll ask them for you of the players or myself. And the first question is for Kevin. What was the key trigger for you mimicking the Huntress?
So, for context, she was trying to get into a position where she could indeed do mimicry anyway. So it was already on her mind, and she had the Huntress sort of tucked away as her emergency button of, okay, if shit goes wrong, then I will do this. And the trigger that actually fired it off was her falling off the wall right as there were 3 undead crawling from the ground very close to where she was, and a rider that didn't seem very bothered by anything. So those things in combination were her moment of, okay, shit. But she was considering it for a longer time because she didn't think that the defense of Trillin could do anything against these riders, or at least not effectively. And there was some altruism involved of, she doesn't want to see this town destroyed over nothing, but also tactically speaking, she didn't. So it was kind of in the making for a while, and then it was accelerated out of her in that moment.
Interesting. Okay. I'll obviously have other questions next week for what happened. But Matt, how does Adalbert feel once he discovered Rainer had imitated his god?
Oh. And I think this is where, as Kevin was saying, is that element of roleplay really comes in. So as a player, while I didn't know the reasons behind it, I can kind of guess that sense of wanting to be helpful, wanting to kind of turn things. But right now, at least, from Adalbert's perspective, it's not just his god, it was our god, it was him and Rainer Samita's god. But for him, it put him in a position of danger. He heard the call, masterfully done, as Twitter and Discord are highlighting. And he saw that as, a call, because it sounded just like the Huntress. It was really masterfully imitated. So he then put himself in danger to act upon it and start fighting. So I think for him it's odd. It's not the sense of insulting the god. Well, that is a key element of it. It's more the deceit and doing things even unknowingly to him.
Deceiving you, or
yes, deceiving Adalbert and kind of putting him in a threat, not only physically, but also in terms of the wrath of the Huntress, by cajoling with him, as he said, is in Adalbert's, this has kind of dragged all of us into a war which we wasn't potentially ready for, and now Adalbert's kind of viewing himself as partly to blame for that, as part of the group, which is what I think he blames Samita for more than the actual act.
I see. And Mads, what made Alithia try to invoke the symbols on her hands?
I think, was this before or after the Huntress? I can't remember. It was before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. She is up shit creek without a paddle. And this is like the only thing left in her reserves to potentially fight off like 40 very scary looking undead creatures that look tough AF. Yeah, it's just like, if you're gonna work now. You give me a lot of grief, so might as well get something from it.
All right. Question for Horathia. What made Horathia restrain himself so hard?
He doesn't like losing a fight. So if there's a fight that you think you can't win, he's not in favour of throwing himself away. So 40 mounted undead, when you're as exhausted as you can, well, not actually, he could be quite a lot more exhausted if I'm honest, but pretty much spent. That makes no sense at all to him. So sitting and waiting it out seems much more sensible. I mean, Chris will know, we had an encounter before. it was quite similar in a lot of ways. If he knows he's outgunned, he's not going to, and there's no realistic prospect of winning the fight, then you don't get in the fight. So despite what the Huntress just said, he thinks he knows pretty well when to fight and when not. He's still here to brag about it.
Yeah. All right. Zamar, what does Zamar respect the most? Sorry, not what. Who does Zamar respect the most in the group now?
Ooh. He does actually have a great deal of respect for Samita for trying something that audacious, and for it. What he was most impressed with is that it actually worked. He was not expecting it to work at all, which is why it never really occurred to him to even think to do that. He, like I say, his brain doesn't work in that way. So I think he had a great deal of respect for sort of everybody in the group. I think he hasn't seen how Adalbert's, like, he was glad that Adalbert stayed out of it. He was mortified that Alithia, while she was trying, got into it. He was like, why don't we just like stay hunkered down and everything's going to be just fine? And then down comes this sacred flame and he's just like, oh no. But again, he had a certain amount of respect for Horathia because he stayed put. So anybody who does what Zamar does gets a certain amount of respect from him. But if it doesn't, then it doesn't figure in his brain a little bit. It's kind of, yeah.
All right. Question for Kevin. What does Raina make of everything that's going on at the Ruin Keep now?
Right now, after the Huntress appeared?
Yeah.
I honestly think that she's not making much of anything at the moment. I think she's a little lost in her own head, trying to deal with everything. But if she were more clear of mind, I think that she probably thinks that they're being very hasty. She tried to express it, with her conversation in the Hall of Echoes around assumptions. She thinks that they're being very presumptuous regarding what will happen. And if she were in better state, she would probably be trying to slow them down a little bit, but that's not where she is.
Okay. Question for Matt. As the threat from corruption intensifies, how does Adalbert feel about his responsibilities?
Well, as kind of, as you say, he's gone from being expected to, can you cure this person, cure this item, to, can you just save 40,000 people at once?
Sorry.
No, don't be silly. So I think he's confident in what he can do, but he's beginning to develop an awareness that perhaps the others see him as a lot more powerful than he could possibly be.
Yeah.
Which is good for the ego, but also quite worrying when he turns to say, I can't save 40,000 people at once. Yeah.
All right. Question for Mads. What was Alithia thinking?
With the
last session,
yeah.
As much as you can say.
Oh, yeah, I remember this. So basically, Alithia thought that they were undead, and from the discussions that had happened previously, that this was something that was undead that responded well to divine power. And it was coming up towards Trillin, and Alithia thought this was like a good way to like trial and see if divine power is enough to like wipe it out. And it's like just one. She didn't think beyond in terms of like she's not like, you know, the most kind of 10 steps ahead character. She didn't think beyond being like there's going to be a huge ass beacon showing us where we are. She was just like, let's try this will work, and then we can like deal with one, and then we can deal with the rest of the 40.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. Question for Rathia.
Sorry guys, I do apologize.
As Horathia watched guiding light, sacred flames, and other overt uses of the arcane hit the rider, what was he thinking?
He was more or less thinking, fucking amateurs. Because, like I said in the previous answer, if there's no realistic prospect of winning the fight, don't start it. I mean, there's a place to pick out off, you know, individuals who are isolated from the group. He's all for that, but what was going on was not realistic, even for one, and it not coordinated. It was just random and impulsive. And that's the thing. Alethea is great because she's impulsive as a character. It's wonderful. But Horathia hates it. Absolutely hates it.
It's so brilliant.
I know. Yeah.
Brilliant. I think it's fantastic. It's just...
Oh, no, it is. It's fantastic.
All right, question for Zamar. This seems to be the first time Zamar genuinely positioned himself away from danger. Is he pleased with his progress?
Given how things turned out, it's not really. God turned up. He's not like super happy with his progress. I mean, the fact that he was still around and not legging it halfway up the hill is just. It needs work. He keeps. The problem is his. There is a certain amount of curiosity that he naturally has, and I haven't really sort of touched on this, is that it's like he doesn't want to ever sort of take on a fight, you know, if especially if it's a fair fight, you know. It's like, but when it comes down to his, when he was assessing things, for example, he's kind of like standing there, but he just has this curiosity, and so when Alethea actually sort of started doing something, the first thing that went through his head was, oh my god, what the hell's going to happen to Alethea when this thing notices? And then the second thing was, I wonder what's going to happen to this thing, how it's going to react to this thing. And so in a sense, he actually sort of like, what happened was he ended up sitting there and sort of, he was just making mental notes of the fact we now know that this kind of magic can't affect it. We now know that a guiding bolt has very little effect. We now know that, you know, so all of these things, we now know that it has sight. We know that it can move around. So we know all of these things about these creatures now that he's furiously making notes of and storing away that we wouldn't have otherwise known if it just walked past, you know, or rode past. So we have, you know, we know it can summon undead. They just revealed so much about what they can do when I don't think they wanted to in some respects. So yeah, I feel like we got a lot out of it in a you know, to you know, every cloud has a silver lining.
All right.
It's quite fun. We've all learned something. Maybe Zamar didn't want to hear his priorities. It's Ellie, then the bad guys. This guy's got a heart after all. Everyone, you know, try it as he may.
All right. Last question for Kevin. Would Raina recommend Trillon as a holiday destination for the Empress?
Yes, I think so. Yeah, she would. It's a very pretty sight. She's enjoying it right now. So as long as you keep away the undead and the gods, then it's a perfectly pleasant place to be.
All right, fair enough. Question for Matt. Last question for Matt. Was Adalbert at all worried for the nice townhouse he'd built when the ship rolled in
Absolutely. Yes. Yes. Especially because it stands out in the town at the moment. There
Yeah.
are thatched huts. Then there's this beautiful hacienda. So yes. You'll be able to stick out, but now as the town's being attacked, he's like, damn, it sticks out.
Might want to put a thatch on that. Question for Mads. Was Alithia at all worried for her nice little treehouse when the princess went to stay?
You know what? It didn't like pop through her mind that like the princess could maybe turn into like a dragon or whatnot and just destroy her little treehouse. But to be fair, like we call it a treehouse, but it's like a sprawling network amongst the trees. So like, yeah, it would have been less than ideal, but that bit gets messed up. But it's not the end of the world. It's not her main kind of quarters, and she can climb up a tree some other way.
All right.
Yeah.
Final question for Harathia. Harathia stayed hidden. How significant a moment is that in his character story?
I don't know. From his perspective, not very. He much prefers beating the crap out of things. So staying hidden goes against the grain. He doesn't enjoy it. And there have been a few cases in the campaign, not broadcast, where he's had to do this. And no, he's getting a bit fed up with it. He really wants to take the fight to this whole corruption business. So, if he can pick his fights, he's hopefully not going to have to do that too often again. But the thing is, he's not stupid. He'll do what needs to be done. And if that thing that needs to be done is concealing yourself and not engaging the enemy, that's what he's going to do.
All right. And last question of the evening for Zaymar. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much does Zaymar want Raina's ability to be invisible?
Called it.
Rank it up to 11.
Yeah. He was genuinely surprised at that, just because he didn't know that you could do that. So the moment he was surprised, he was just like, "How the hell?" He got it that it was a spell, but you know, because he's seen spells cast before. But yeah, he was just like, "Huh, that's super useful." Shame that Samita walks around like a bunch of herd of elephants so you can hear us. Would be his snarky way of thinking his way through it, you know? It's just like, wow, that would be amazing if I had it. Briefly, in his own sort of stupid way. Like I say, yeah, like very jealous instantly. Just all of the thoughts, just so many thoughts just ran through his head, like at that moment. Oh my god, you can do that, and that works, and wow. I wonder if that's a magic item.
All right. Well, as your characters have all had long rests, all of them apart from Harathia, because he's already level 5, and now going up to level 5.
What? Wait, how do I do this? Manage levels.
I would also say, including Samita, she's been through quite a lot, so
Yeah.
it seems reasonable that she would too.
Cool. Thank you.
Oh wow, what do we get?
What have you won?
Huh?
That's up to you. You can use that level for whatever you want. Well, not completely whatever, but...
I'll use it. I'm going to level up in not forked tongue.
Do you want us to roll health dice now?
If you know what you're doing, then sure.
Yeah. Do we just roll 1d8? One dice and then add it onto whatever?
Yeah, depending what the dice dependent on the class that you're going up in.
Just roll 1 dice and add it onto whatever we have.
Yeah.
Oh,
One bear,
that's
isn't it?
nice.
If you happen to have one.
Yeah, just ping me, Kevin.
Yeah. It's just that this means 3rd level spells for spellcasting classes.
Woo!
And
What?
one of the ones that I have available is called Tongues.
Oh, that's so harsh, man.
The insults keep on coming.
Does that allow you to actually override? I wonder if that's a...
No,
Depends
I think
what-
it's mostly
Now you're going to be
understanding
scouring
language.
all of your spells for verbal, for somatic and not verbal, which I can't imagine there's actually many. It's like
No, verbal is almost always.
Oh, shit.
Oh, that's an understanding one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to speak soon.
Oh yeah, VS is
I won't-
everywhere. 99% of spells have VS.
Yeah, there's a few that are just voice, which is cool. If you had one. Oh, I found one that's just somatic and material.
Nice.
Okay.
maybe reserve a proficiency or something like that in the future or something.
I did quite
I-
nicely on my hit points.
I don't think I can predict when I'm going to piss off a god, so that one's it's a rough one to be prepared for.
Never again? I don't know.
How did we guys do on hit points?
Average for me.
Okay.
I actually
Which is
don't
nice.
know what my hit dice is. I think it's D8.
Average for me.
Alethea looks happy with the roll.
Just use a luck
You just
potion.
add it onto the rolled hit points?
Wow, that
Yeah,
was
just
off.
add it on, yeah.
That was very good. That was one off maximum.
Nice.
I was 2 off.
Well done.
I was 2 off maximum, so.
Yeah, my last 2 rolls have been maximum and 1 off maximum. So I'm pretty
Obviously.
pleased.
Obviously.
Wow.
I mean, my first 3 rolls were all less than half. So which is why I kept falling
Oh.
down every time at my first
Yeah.
when we started. So it's just good to be rolling averagely now. It's nice.
Yeah, it's just worth pointing
Long
out
rest.
to those watching that I don't run the straight 5th edition rules. When they roll their first level, they roll. So their hit points are on average a bit lower than most characters.
Much more squishy if your name is Adelbear, especially.
Starts off
Yes.
very squishy. Yeah.
Much more squishy.
Oh my god! Look at this! It's so exciting! Level 3!
Oh my god, that's terrifying. That's truly terrifying. Are you seriously? Oh my god. I can't even imagine, like, Olivia having 3 spells.
I will have to look up.
I get like. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I get some good ones, man. These are good.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I
Yeah.
don't want to know. They're going to
Oh,
blow up.
wow. Oh, man. Wow. I have to look through everything.
Is it?
But this is
Don't choose right now.
exciting. And when do we get more points to add to like our numbers, our modifiers and whatnot? Is that level 8?
Are you talking about either feet or the
ability on there.
AVLT
Yeah.
or whatever it's called?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
A ways off.
I think it's normally
Fine.
4 and 8, isn't it?
Fine.
Yeah.
It's a ways
divisible
off,
by
and
4.
probably, who knows, probably about
Fine.
3 weeks in this campaign.
3 weeks in real time.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Campaign
just like,
time.
no, not in real
Yeah.
time. 3 years.
Yeah, that's what I
in
mean.
real
3
time.
weeks.
3
Three
weeks.
3 weeks in campaign time.
Yeah.
I mean, this is amazing. Like, you know, we leveled up. Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we've had so many episodes in just the one night as well.
I know.
It's true.
It's like it's finally daytime, but that's like 3 months ago or something.
That is extraordinary. Yeah. It's the same with all of your campaigns. I
True.
don't know what's different, like why it is that way with your campaigns. I guess it's just the sandbox world that you play in. I mean, you know, things happen at the rate they happen, and so, you know, it's like you've got 1 hour and then things turn up. It's like, oh, okay, you know.
Right, you got 3 weeks this time, so Should be fine.
Yeah, brilliant. Only
Until
40,000.
things turn, yes, 40,000 things.
Yeah, yeah. It's 3 weeks head start. so-
1, 2. All right. So we should probably start wrapping up now. While everyone
Yeah.
looks at their characters. Like to give a shout out to Kevin. Thank you for joining us once more, and thank you for taking everything that was thrown at you and responding admirably.
I'm sorry.
Um,
That was brilliant.
yeah, it made for a very interesting part of the story.
That's
Um,
fantastic.
And please do watch
my
Tales of a Deer on Sunday at 5 p.m. UK time.
Actually, if I may,
Sure.
next week we're on Monday because 2 players have a holiday on Sunday, so we're going to be
Oh,
playing
right.
on
Okay. It's bank
Oh,
holiday in
nice,
the UK,
nice.
so
Yeah, Bank Holiday Monday, so
yeah.
Woo!
Nice.
good.
No excuses. Go watch it.
Same time, 5 p.m. UK.
I think a little later, but I'll post
Okay.
the actual time on Twitter
Alright, cool.
soon.
Cool.
Good stuff.
Any other shout outs,
Thank you so much. Oh yeah, our usual thing. Hashtag TPTRPG solidarity. Thank you. Hashtag tabletop TV. Thank you so much to everyone who supports us, who engages with us. We have some exciting things. We've got a few artists, and the art is starting to roll in now. It's very exciting. So we'll be showcasing some of you guys. We love interacting with you. We love chatting with you. So keep doing that, and bump our numbers up some more. Follow, subscribe. We have a YouTube. You can look at that too.
And congratulations to Jeff Altman in the USA.
Yeah, and congratulations to. So I found your Twitter. You're a dice goblin.
It's Dice Goblin.
Called
Okay.
Resist. Yeah. Wait, hold on. It's called Resist for Life, but then there was something about dice goblins, as well. So yeah. Hold on. Let me find it. Anyway, whatever. Yeah, thank you so much for everyone who engaged with that. That was really, really fun. And we shall see you next week.
Yeah. See you next week. Thanks for watching.
So
Take care of
Bye.
yourselves.